Welcome to Louisianimal Gaming. Today we're going to be breaking down our scheme of the week out of the Trio Y Flex out of the Oregon playbook. It is on 4 different playbooks as you guys see here on the screen. So if you guys are running this formation, I'm going to show you guys how to effectively make this better or add to what you guys already know. And also if you guys are running a custom playbook, if you guys are in Dynasty, make sure you guys add this in here. Shout out to our guys, Orange Crush 007 and Young Work, 2 of the newest members to the Patreon. If you guys are not members and following over there, go over there, be a part of the exclusive content and memberships that we provide. Um, we also have 2 offensive ebooks over there on the channel right now. Bowling Green, Maryland, 2 of the top playbooks in the game. We also just released our 3rd ebook on defense here for the 3-4 playbook. Go check us out. Help your game improve, take you to the next level, and you guys are going to win more games. So let's jump into the scheme of the week with this Trio Y Flex. All right, so in this Trio Y Flex here, we have quite a few pass plays in here that we are going to break down. You have your inside zone and your halfback base as your 2 main run plays, and then you have RPO alert bubble. We'll cover the bubble here later on in this video. And here, first, we're going to go over the plays, and then towards the end of this video, I will actually talk about different route combinations you can use throughout any play in this formation to add more versatility to it. It just makes sense to cover the route combinations towards the end instead of trying to do it each play here. So let's jump in right away. Simple play. We're going to go verticals. Verticals, this tight end is already on a drag. What I like to do here is I will probably put this running back here on a Texas, and then I like putting this X receiver here on a comeback. So if we see any kind of man coverage look, we're going to have the drag Texas route combination. You're going to have your comeback to the left, and you may also have the crosser here from B on the right, going across the right, sorry. If they're in any kind of zone, you'll have opportunity to throw Y in the seam streak. Again, you'll read the drag Texas route combo. So a bunch of things here you can do. Here's running against random defense. Here is this crosser here, as it looked like they lined up in some kind of cover 1. Maybe possibly could have been a match. But again, run this a couple of times. Again, pretty simple. Just Texas route your running back, come back your solo side receiver. And here, again, we let them pass off their zone responsibilities. We waited, the drag came open, and that's really going to happen in game as long as you get the protection time, is that they are going to be uncertain whether to switch between the drag and the Texas route here. And again, here we run it, we wait, top of the route. We had the drag open there, but we found the comeback because there was no hard curl flat, cloud flat over there to protect that outside corner. And again, here, the great thing about this formation is the running back, his Texas route is, like I said, it's going to be into a nice little spot of the zone where the middle is either taken back by the crosser and or to the left, creating an open lane from the drag. Open up. Look at it here one more time. Even if they go man here, nice little pass lead animation, and you get about 8 to 10 yards. So this alone is just going to put a lot of stress on the defense, and you don't need a lot of adjustments. Next play we're going to take a look at here, slots middle. Slots middle is a very simple play. You literally only need one adjustment. We're going to put A on a streak here. And this is going to be very simple. You're just looking at RB in the flats, B on the drag, and then you're going to have Y here on his post. And if you want to add something else, I would put X on this return route. Return routes are actually really good from the outside receivers this year. Again, take your reads here. We have the drag. Again, if they try to commit down to the drag, you're going to have this post open right behind it. If they don't play the flats like this here, again, take your free yards to your running back. We're going to make these guys respect everything underneath. And once they start coming down underneath, because we're just, dotting them up underneath, is they're going to then open up the middle here. And you see right there, despite a awful red bar throw, the post came wide open because they committed down to the drag here. So we're going to watch this middle linebacker. See, he commits to the drag. And no excuse, the quarterback just sails it here. But again, X on a return, A on a streak. That is it here. Again, we have the drag. This here, we finally get a good accurate throw to our post across the middle. So there's going to be a bunch of stuff that is just going to kill, whether it's man or zone. And then, again, we'll see if we can get a look here. Even though it's man coverage, we'll go back to this post here. Trying to show you where the return route. The return route is going to be more deadly against zone than it is against man. Here. And again, he's not quite getting the separation because the zones are kind of like matching here. But you see 3 yards. And here's kind of what you're talking about right here, right? The outside corner really backed off. And then setup number 2 that you could do out of this is streak B. If you want to streak A and really pull the defense deep so that way that post can come underneath and drag X, you can do something like this. You're going to see here. And now we hit this post wide open for a touchdown. And the reason why it's going to happen is those 2 streaks are going to happen right here in the middle of the field stretching. So the middle safety is not going to be able to help, and the right outside corner only has one deep route, which is going to pull him deep and allow this post to get underneath for a wide open score. And then, of course, you're going to have this drag here. As you see, the post probably would have came open again. But you still have your flat route there to RB. And probably the most advanced setup that I like to do is I'll put X here on a comeback. I'll streak B. And then I am going to drag A and then Texas RB. And again, we're kind of hot routing everybody except for the post here. But again, anything that's not a hard flat man coverage, you're going to have X here on this comeback, as you'll see right here. Top of the route, possession, catch it. I don't know what happened. He just decided to rack, break the catch, and score. We'll take it. But again, super easy. The drag Texas route combo out of the any of the trips tight end sets really is probably the best route combination in the formation, to be honest. But again, that's just really how it's going to be with this play. You see, boom, and that post, even though I didn't throw the post is still getting open. And we're going to see if we can show it to you again here. But the funny thing is this post still will get open here. Right here. So there's still going to be plenty of opportunities for this post to get open, regardless with the 3 different route combinations that we have put on the field, the 3 different variations of the play. Next play we're going to jump into here is dagger here. Dagger, again, very good concept. You don't have to change anything about this. Reason why I like this is you have this motion from RB here, more of a check and release, but he gets into this nice little soft spot there as he really bounced around actually more than normal. But it's a very nice check and release route. It's not one that is typical in any other formation here. You see, the good thing is he stays in to block if needed. But what makes this play so good here is you're going to have B on this crosser, Y on this streak, X on this deep dig here. And we're just going to watch. If they play deep here, the drag will be open just like this. And a lot of the times the reason that's going to be open is because all 3 routes on the left are going vertical. Other thing here on dagger here is I really like this backside dig. It does a great job here against man, even though we decide to drop the ball. Is against zone as well. Depending on the zones, you're going to see here, that was more of a match coverage. But so my variation of this play I like to do is put Y here on a zig. We're going to put A on a streak. And then RB can be on a flat route like this, or they can put them on a Texas route if you want something else threatening the middle here. So again, your backside dig is going to be there. Now we're going to make quick reads here to Y in the flats. So now we have something attacking to the flats from this trip side here. And then really the point of streaking A and flat routing our running back is now we're going to give an opportunity for B to get us a chunk play deep down the field. Again, if they're not going to take away the flats, we will take away the flats. And so now we're gonna show the crosser here. And again, the one thing is because A is the only deep route here on the field stretching vertical like that, is that the safety can pass off the crosser to the the outside corner here on the right, which can make it where he can play it, you're going to have to really kind of throw it early. I threw that actually earlier than I wanted to throw it there. But there is going to be opportunities to hit B coming across the field. You just don't want him to go all across the sideline there. Kind of like right there as he was crossing that safety linebackers. One other variation you can do is put this running back here on this Texas, though, and he will threaten the middle of the field, especially if the linebacker's first steps are to drop back. Again, now you have something quick over the middle. And then, again, we've already talked about the dig route here. If we get a play on the dig, and again, you see this dig route is still going to be an option for us. So, again, we love this play dagger. Make sure we are running this in this formation. Next play we're going to look at here is mesh dagger. And here with mesh dagger, we're going to run this stock. It's very good stock. But I'm going to show you what adjustments we can make behind it. Here it looks like this might be some kind of man blitz. If you stem down this S route here from Y, it's going to be a very good man beater. Of course, you have the drag concept underneath. You have the dagger from X. And then if you're able to hit the running back quickly out of the backfield, also going to be a very good route. Again, you see here, again, just take your free yards against the drag. We had B, we had A. And if we had more time, we might have thrown our S post. Again, I like to stem him down. And again, here we're just going to kind of make our reads. Again, you have this mesh concept. Hit your drags. Make them play. It's going to be very difficult. It's going to beat man and or zone. Meshes do a very good job of picking the defense. Giving us a lot of man look here in blitz. Again, here's the backside in. So we've shown you they ran man 3 plays. We've had both drags. We've had the backside dig. If this is another man blitz here, we will have this S post. Again, you get the proper pass lead here. We don't get an animation there, but you can see how he is able to create separation here. And then, of course, if they're running zone and you see everybody drops back, you have this quick throw to the running back. So one other alternate setup I like doing this, and you can actually run inside of any play. We may even touch it here in another play. Is I am actually going to I'm going to streak B here. I'm going to put Y here on a post. And you can just actually, if you want to streak Y, X on a post, I'll show that next here. All I'm doing is I'm just trying to create here a spot in the middle for that post to kind of get open over the middle. In case people don't like the S route, right? It's good to have variation here. But if I wanted to do it from the outside, I can absolutely do that. And then I like putting B here on a zig. So I'm going to have this zig here to the flats, possibly this drag. You see here's the zig. And we'll take one final look here. I just want to show where that deep post can get open across the middle here. And you see there, if you get a good pass animation and the time, and hopefully you have a receiver that doesn't drop the ball, it has a potential to be one play touchdown, especially against man. Next, we'll go into mesh whips here. And again, you have this zig wheel combo to the right. You have a zig from your slot on the left. And then again, you have this S post that if you want to stem down, you can stem down B here in the slot. You can do anything. You can put them on a slant. If you want to put them on a streak to clear the S post, you absolutely can do that here. Again, watch. Here is going to be this little zone here spot against this cover 2. Again, it can be open against other stuff as well. Again, you want to put this guy in a post. You can do that. Again, you're just kind of making your reads here. Now we got this post coming across. Again, Sumini holds on to it. Short crosser if you feel like it's running too close to the S post. Again, pocket for the zig is usually always going to be there somewhere against zone. Sometimes you'll hold a little bit longer. Sometimes it's a quick throw. And then, of course, if they're in zone here, you can throw this running back there. But again, it's very simple here. Again, watch your drag. We had the crosser. We had the S post. Everything's open. Just everything has a window and it just slightly different against man. You want to do something like this against streaks so this S post can get underneath. Again, there's a nice little spot. Now, I don't run a lot of PA plays, but I will say PA crossers used to be a staple all across Madden. What you're going to want to do is streak A. You're going to want to drag Y. I personally like putting RB on a Texas route. If you want the extra protection, You can keep him on a blocking route, and then I'll put X here just on a comeback. You can put him on a deep dig, anything. So again, if it's man coverage, we're gonna look. Our reads are always drag first, then to the crosser, and then we have our backside comeback here. So again, here drag wide open. You take your yards. If we're looking for the big hitting play, again, that is where B is gonna come open on the cross, and he kind of gets hung up there. We're able to pass lead him outside here, break a tackle. Um, I think the crosser definitely does work better against zone. And then, of course, we get this cover 3 type look here. What we're going to do is, if we see that there's a hard flat or if they're in a match and this X receiver's left wide open like he is here, top of the route, come back, possession, catch it to be safe. That route is never, honestly, never. Very rarely will a corner jump to pick it off. Even the best corners in the game, it just does not do much. The worst thing that I've seen happen is knockout animations. I haven't seen anybody be able to jump that unless they switch stick it. But again, that's just realizing the tendency of your users. There's a lot of stuff going on here, so that they're gonna have to be responsible for guarding. And then the last thing here, we have RB on this Texas route. Again, it's a great man beating route, but it's also great to freeze the user in the middle of the field because you not only have this crosser going across the middle, you have the drag, you have the high low, and then you have the misdirection here with this Texas route. So again, late throw there, we throw a pick. But again, just kind of showing you guys that the things are open as we forget to put our guy on a comeback. But you see is next one we're going to take a look at here, RPO alert bubble. Again, if you have an RPO in any formation, you want to try and get it involved. Again, it's just one other thing for the defense to respect and think about, and if they have their defensive option set to guard. Anybody knows me, I love the speed out routes. I love it in normal Y off close. I love it in tight Y off. Again, here in this trio Y flex here is A on the speed out route. Again, if you don't see any help underneath, which this corner is about 6-7 yards back, and he is not lined up outside, A is probably going to be a snap throw right away from me. This really kills man coverage unless they shade outside and route commit. Then, of course, you have your bubble here on the left. So we're just going to run this a few times to show you where A and how I'm making the read here. And you see, immediately if the cornerback's first steps are back or he's even neutral, it's going to be a snap throw. And we notice there's no help here. Again, you see, now this time I threw the bubble because it was not being guarded. But we'll go back here. Again, this looks like a man blitz, so I'm just going to throw to A no matter what. And you can pass the outside. And if you get a blue, again, the pursuit angles from defense is just not very good. It's been not very good in the last couple games, Madden and NCAA. And you see, all we do is throw to the out, and the corner kind of comes all the way down or pursues at a straight line. It doesn't give himself a chance to recover. So, again, here, boom, they kind of commit this time on a blitz. Our final two plays here we're going to take a look at here is we're going to look here at shuffle slot in, shuffle mills. We'll actually even throw shuffle shock slot dig in here and just really kind of show you. I'm going to go shuffle shock slot dig here first. Again, the reason why I like this motion, he's almost running a Texas route, but he's just not going to commit all the way across the field. So RB's going to have a chance against the zone to get wide open here in a early throw spot. And then also you have him breaking initially off that route to come across the middle. So we're really going to watch him and see how defense reacts. The other thing too is you have these option concepts here with the B route, running a choice route. So if you notice, he has a hitch and then he has an out route. The hitch is versus zone. If they're running man, he's going to run the out route. 95% of the time, he makes the correct read. So it is very easy to know where to go with the ball here. I'm not changing a lot in this play. But again, here we'll watch. We're going to make the read here. You see, there's just this little quick throwing lane here for this running back. And I probably could have let him come across the middle a little bit. Run this again. You see they're going to be in some kind of boom. And that is the throw lane there. Now, we get cracked. But again, just showing you it can beat man. You can get open against zone. Here, this is going to be a zone look. And now my eyes are going to shift over to the left here. I am going to look at this weird X route here that's like an outside hitch. and then I'm going to look at B. B's going to be our first read. We're going to see do they drop back. They do. I'm able to pass lead it outside. As you see, he just stops right in the gap. Well, again, we'll look here at the left side of the field a couple times. Boom, now he stays in the middle. I see the slot corner drop back with the vertical route. And again, one more time, just watch the zone. This time they kind of bracket that hitch, and the smoke screen is open. Now, one other option that we can do here is, we'll talk about this in the next play because it already has it built in, but on a speed out route, again, you're just kind of giving yourself more options here. And you see is we could have waited to hit RB underneath, but I noticed all the coverage dropped back, so it left this throw wide open to A. So I would say this is probably one of, and here's a late throw. I kind of got confused there by the way the guy aligned in the man, but this A route in this formation, you could put him on a speed route in any particular play, and it is just going to cause problems because that's going to be something that they're always going to have to think about. If they run man, they're probably going to have to route commit outside, shade outside, or they're going to have to run some kind of cover two. Maybe put this guy in a hard flat, use your guy move, and it's just going to open up other things here within this set. So let's move on to the next shuffle plays here. That was slot dig. We have shuffle mills here. Shuffle mills, unfortunately, they have all vertical routes, so this will be kind of more you kind of freestyling here. But you could do something like this where you streak A. You could put B here on a post. You could drag Y here. So again, this is just one variation. The setups really kind of don't matter. It's just, you're making adjustments off the defense. But that's the cool thing about this particular set here is if, again, post, crosser, we want to put this guy on a crosser, we can put him on a crosser. We can put Y here on a return. Again, put X on a comeback. And then now you're just kind of reading here. They play zone. Now this return route is wide open. So there's a bunch of fun route combinations you can play with. I like the return if users are being really aggressive over the middle. Reason being is that now, of course, I don't have a second controller to emulate this, but let's just say that he dives down on Y with this middle linebacker here. You are going to have this crosser, and although we complete that because we got hit, I was really just trying to simulate that crosser would be open actually a lot earlier in the field because this guy is diving down on the drag. So again, make sure we are adding these kind of concepts throughout these few different shuffle plays. But we'll go to shuffle slot in, and here again, A's on the speed out route. If you want to put B on a streak, Y on a deep crosser, you could do something like this. And then now you put X on a drag. Again, so there's a bunch of route combinations that you can run throughout this formation. We actually had the deep crosser coming open as well. We had the drag. Again, we'll show this a few more times here. Again, zone. They're going to run this little man concept. They brought a blitz, some good pressure got through, and we just take our drag for 20 yards. So giving them something to think about at all times. And again, they don't guard the speed out route. We have the speed out route. And then we'll see here if we can get a look against show this running back where he can be open right away. You see everything is back. And we're able to pass through that kind of outside. So again, maybe right there, if you want to look at that, you just keep this guy on the streak. So that way, the guys kind of aren't running into the middle of each other. But again, this is one of the more underrated schemes in Oregon's playbook. And then, of course, you have your quick base and inside zone that you can complement with the run. So make sure we are adding this in our Oregon playbook and or the other few playbooks that have this. Or if you're running a custom, throw this in there. Really get familiar with this scheme here. It's going to help move the ball very easily for you and get a lot of yards and create a lot of points.